Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Sports Betting by Dummies. I am your host, Patty Parlays, and joining me, as always, the faceless wonder himself, Tyler. Tyler, welcome in. How's your weekend?
Pretty good. Didn't do too much, though. Always a good time.
Absolutely. Sometimes those weekends are not the worst. You just kind of get to relax, recoup, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
And joining us, as always, the voice of God, the tan man himself, Dizz. Dizz, welcome in, buddy. How was your weekend?
Thank you, Patty. My weekend was quite the opposite. I went on a 3-day bender up in Fort Wayne. Actually, played a little bit of golf in the great state of Michigan. So it was a lot of fun. I lost some money,
Oh,
but I had a lot of fun. So it was a good weekend. Ready to bounce back though. We've officially hit the dog days, but I'm excited that Wimbledon has started today, and hopefully I can get home and make a little first round parlay before Dumbest Dummy start.
there you go. Also, I think we should change it from the dog days of summers to the Patty Parlays days of summer. Any
You
Why?
got that dog in you.
any thoughts?
I mean, yeah, sure. I love it.
I need to see a
It's
little more
always Patty
dog
parlay season.
tendencies out of you
oh,
before we do that.
more the dog.
Yeah, I need to see a little more dog out of you.
Well, just wait till the Hail Mary parlay of the day hits today, and then you'll see the dog.
Okay. I like the confidence.
Um, let's briefly talk some golf. Travelers Championship. Shout out to Xander Schauffele for winning the Travelers. We did have him for one of our best bets on Friday to come through. So shout out to us, Tyler. We nailed that one.
We did. Good for us.
Yeah. But I will say it just hurts a bit when you had him to win the U.S. Open the week before at crazy odds, and then he, doesn't do too well, and then he comes out the next week and dominates the tournament.
It's
So
not great.
that sucks a little bit. But so actually, golf this weekend is going to be interesting, right? We have the LIV, the next LIV event in Portland. Um,
Ooh.
so the first U.S. based LIV event. I believe some new notable adds to the LIV since the last tournament. DeChambeau, Patty Reed. Didn't Matt Wolf just say today that he's playing in the LIV, Diz?
I did not see that. That would make sense though. I mean, he's been struggling on the PGA Tour.
I think that's fact. So some more people defecting is what they've been labeled as. Going over to the LIV, but we have the John Deere Classic this week in the PGA Tour, and then we actually have the Irish Open in the European Golf League, I believe. So some people are playing in that to kind of get them ready for the next major golf tournament for the PGA Tour, which is the Open Championship. Is that right, Diz?
That is correct, Patty.
AKA the British Open. So realistically, there's three competing golf tournaments this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see who plays in what tournament and kind of what owns the eyes of the people, if you will.
I mean, it might thin out the betting ranks a little bit, too.
Yeah, for sure. So while we're in the dog days of summer, the golf is certainly an interesting little tidbit for Usually that's not the case, but we might have to keep our eyes out on some golf.
You just tell me what to bet, because I don't know.
You got it. I got you, fam. NHL Finals. Congrats to the Colorado Avalanche and Ty for winning his hefty future. But Diz, I don't know if you saw this, but I believe I saw that the Avalanche became the fifth team ever to be the preseason favorite and then end up winning the Stanley Cup.
Yes, I did see that. Good for them.
It's kind
Just
of.
really think it. What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just find it crazy that there's only been five teams that's been the case. Now, granted, odds and whole betting and everything like that probably haven't been around for very long, so maybe that's not as crazy as we think it is.
I was gonna say the opposite. Yeah, it depends our sample size, but I feel like five is a lot.
like the preseason favorite to win. I mean, if you think about like other professional leagues, maybe outside of the NBA,
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to predict who's going to win the championship.
Right.
I was thinking the other way. I was thinking 5 is quite a lot for preseason favorites. But also, is this the last, like you said, is this the last 40 years or is this the last like 100? I feel like 5 out of 40 is a lot. But once again, I don't know the sample size.
Well, I want to say I saw this was the second time in the past decade that this has happened.
I feel like that's probably a good clip, like 20% of the time. That's quite often, if you ask me. Of 30 teams, I feel obviously a lot of those are not going to win it, but I feel like that's a good clip. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. But hockey's done. Hockey's dead until comes back around. So that's dead. NBA's pretty much dead, but we do have some interesting talk happening here. Tyler, you had mentioned that there's. I didn't see these odds. I don't know if we can even bet on these odds, but you said there's now talks of what? Is it Kyrie or Kevin Durant going to Phoenix for DeAndre Ayton?
Uh, Now I just saw it because I didn't see the odds for it. Betting odds though, DeAndre Ayton. Here it is. The odds on DeAndre Ayton joining the Nets have rapidly jumped within the hour. It went from plus 4,000 last night to plus 350. Like, actually,
Jeez.
not last night, just in the last hour. And KD to Suns odds have been locked now. So it's
Interesting.
looking like it might be a sign and trade with those guys.
What else would the Suns have to give up to get Kevin Durant? Because I
Um,
don't think Ayton just by himself is enough.
no, but if he's like demanding a trade, his value's obviously going to be down.
Right.
I don't know. Could we be looking at a just swapping Booker and Aiton for Kyrie and KD or something and some picks?
That would be wild.
Because the Nets are just at the point where Kyrie doesn't want to play for them anymore. He's mad, and Durant is his ride or die now, I guess. And so, Durant doesn't want to join the Nets if Kyrie's not going to be there. So they basically have to try and get rid of both of them while they can still get some value out of them.
Right. And I think maybe the Suns kind of popped in because I know there was some talk about the Suns and DeAndre Ayton as like on ESPN when I was watching it earlier. So I wonder if that's why the odds changed so drastically because like someone had thrown out the idea of the Suns and then people are like, "Oh, if ESPN's saying it, maybe there's a chance and maybe that skews the odds enough."
I mean, it could. That's probably what happened. They just
Yeah.
ESPN said something because everyone knows that the Suns don't want to give Aiton the max.
Right.
They definitely don't want to let him walk for nothing. So if they could get back a haul like that, I
Oh
think
yeah.
they would be willing to hard cap themselves
Yeah,
on a sign and trade.
for sure. And then I also saw that what's his name? Kyrie, the only real interest on Kyrie has been the Lakers, and the Lakers haven't liked the package that they're getting back yet. So Kyrie's kind of in a tough spot now all of a sudden.
You mean the Nets?
No, no, no. The Lakers have been the only team that has shown interest in Kyrie, based on the sign and trade, I think.
Yeah.
And then, like the Lakers, I think it was the Nets that said that or the Lakers said that they didn't like the package that they were talking about with Kyrie involved.
So it's probably gonna be like Kyrie and DeAndre Ayton for like AD or something,
Yeah,
from what they said.
I don't know what was said or talked about,
I mean,
but
the Lakers don't have anything they
it
can give up
it's
other
it's
than
shaping up to be an interesting
AD.
offseason. And one thing I wanted to note is I think the deadline is like Thursday for uh, players to opt into their player option. Is that correct? Do you have any idea on that?
Sounds correct. I'm not 100% sure though.
If you said something, I didn't hear you.
I said it sounds
Diz, can you
correct.
hear Tyler right
I'm
now?
not 100. We lost Diz.
Diz, you're on mute. Did I just lose you guys? What's going on?
Wait,
I heard Tyler. I heard Tyler that
This
whole
is
time. I
good
was on mute.
podcasting.
I'm
Okay, I can't
unloading
hear you guys. Hold
groceries
on.
from my.
It's a me problem.
oh, classic Pat.
Okay, now we're good. I can hear you again. Sorry. What did
All right. I was just saying, I think like it sounds right. I'm not 100% sure though on the deadline there.
it's sometime this week. We know that.
Yeah.
So is that with that player option target date looming, does that mean these deals, these sign and trades, all this other jazz needs to happen before then, or is this just something that could go into free agency and these players could opt out and then sign, or any idea on the timing of all that?
Uh, I mean, the NBA free agent moratorium periods and stuff are made up anyways.
Yeah.
These teams collude no matter what. So
Yeah. Yep, fair enough. And I was also talking about how if you're a superstar in the NBA, player empowerment is at an all-time high because they were talking on it wasn't Sports Center, but it was on ESPN about how KD is under contract with the Nets until 2025, 2026. And if he wants out, he can literally get out and almost go to just about anywhere he wants. Is that am I the only one
yeah,
that thinks that's crazy?
I mean, like the ball's it's kind of just like changing of power because before the teams, would just lock you in like in any sports, like you know Barry Sanders just retired because he was stuck on a bad team. Like,
Right.
kind of sucks that like for the small market teams at least that because the whole 5th year option supermax contract is made to keep your players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but now there's nothing stopping them just from taking the contract, playing 1 year, and then a year later. It's either 1 year or 2 years before they could be traded because they legally can't be traded like for a certain period of time after the contract signed. But it's either 1 year or 2 years. But they can just take that, and basically get the best of both worlds. They get to pay, and they can just tank their trade value, like Paul George, and say, "Hey, like, I'm leaving. I'm not going to play for you guys. I send me to one of these three places." So, like, it kind of sucks for the franchises, but they've kind of been, dicking over the players for a while. So I just kind of fair. Sucks for the fans.
Yeah. No kidding. Um, and then Tyler, one last thing I wanted to talk about. I sent this in the group, and I think you were probably aware of it, but Malcolm Brogdon and Russell Westbrook. Uh, there was a rumor that came out that the Lakers approached the Pacers, and the Lakers offered Russell Westbrook, Horton Tucker, and a future first round draft pick or picks for Malcolm Brogdon. And the Pacers essentially laughed at them and ceased all conversations with him.
Well, and
Um,
it would have had to have been more than just Brogdon to match the contract
the
too. So
salary.
like, yeah, they would have had to give up somebody with a pretty decent sized salary to match. So like, most of the people with decent salaries on the Pacers are people that they like and want to play, that not people they want to unload. So
Right.
yeah, like it's just kind of garbage to think that the Pacers will take that terrible contract off your hands for like a 2030 first round pick and like overpaid THT and and then Westbrook that's not really worth anything and getting paid like almost 50 million.
Right. Right. 100%.
Pretty wild.
Um, what is Brogdon under contract for a couple more years? I can't remember what his contract is.
Yeah, because like the reason we couldn't trade him at the deadline was they just extended him, so he couldn't be traded until April. That's why the only reason he wasn't like people weren't dealing for him then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't mind Brogdon. The only thing that worries me about Brogdon is his injuries. Like, can he stay healthy? But I'm glad we didn't just take Westbrook because while Westbrook's he's a great player. He's going to probably be in the Hall of Fame because of his triple doubles. But
And an MVP.
yeah, but I just don't see him as being a fit here in Indy.
No, I mean he's old. The Pacers are. I mean they at least tanked last year. We'll see if they tank this year. But like they've got a lot of young players and they have a ton of guards right now. So like, it wouldn't make sense bringing in an old past his prime guard for a
Right.
team that's not going to win this year.
You know who I want the Pacers to get, and I don't think this has ever been rumored, but I think this guy has been rumored in trades of late.
Murray.
Oh, I did not know that. Jamal Murray is rumored to be traded because he didn't play at all for the Nuggets last year.
No, Deontay Murray.
Oh, yeah, that would be
The,
nice
the
too.
Hawks are trying to get him for John Collins, but that's kind of not a good trade.
I swear I saw the Spurs said that they need like 4 first-round picks if they're getting rid of Murray.
Yeah, yeah, they did, but the Hawks are still bothering them.
But the person who I want is OG Anunoby.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Bring him back. I mean,
He can play a 4, can't he?
give me OG and Romeo Langford.
A team of IU former All Stars.
Just don't give me Oladipo back.
Yeah, we don't want him back. No. But anything, Tyler, you want to touch on NBA wise before we? Actually, Jimmy Harden. He is up for a contract extension or a player option or something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
They
the
gotta extend him.
76ers, do you think you extend him? I mean, you have to just because you gave up so much to get him. Is that what your thought process is?
Well, I mean, cap wise too. Like, unless it's a sign and trade, they're not going to be able to use that salary. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they can't let him walk and then sign somebody with that money because they're over the cap. So like, I think they pretty much have to like. Hopefully for them, I mean, I'm not a Sixers fan. There's some bad blood between the Sixers and Celtics, but like for them, like I think the ideal move would be to extend them for like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Short term extension.
Yeah, if they give him the 4 year extension, like I'd be pretty up. Like as if I was a Sixers fan, I would be pretty upset.
Right. And of course there were talks of like sending him back to Brooklyn for Kyrie. That'd be wild,
Uh,
wouldn't it?
did you see Evan Massey's tweet, Pat?
I did not. What enlighten me.
Per source, the Pacers and Miles Bridges have a high level of mutual interest. Indiana viewed as the top threat to sign Bridges away from the Hornets.
Interesting. He's a 4, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be a nice little addition. I wouldn't hate that.
I mean, I wouldn't want to give him a max, but
No.
like, he's not a bad player.
Mm-mm. I think both is his brother in Phoenix, I think.
Is that his brother? I
I
thought they just had the same last name.
I don't know. But I think they're both up for contracts.
Yeah, I think they are.
Hell, bring them both.
I don't have that kind of money.
But it'd be nice for the Pacers to make a move like that. He's obviously not your, max player, big superstar extension, but
And no, they're not related. I just looked it up.
okay, perfect. Thank you for clarifying. But hey, he'd be a serviceable addition, and I think he would instantly make us a better team if he signed.
Yeah, but do the Pacers really want to be that good next year? A lot of teams want to be in that lottery again
Yeah,
for what is it? Wembayama,
yeah,
I think it's pronounced. I'm not sure, but
yeah, yeah. But I said this, Tyler, I believe when we went to a game earlier this year for the Pacers, but a couple moves here and there, and I think the Pacers have a chance to make a playoff run.
oh no, I think they need to. I think they're gonna wait for a little bit.
I think you have to ask Jake what I said, but I swear I said like they'll finish like third in the East this next season.
Oh, that's bold.
Hey, Patty Parlays goes bold. We know this.
So you're gonna take their over on wins? I'm
Probably,
guessing.
depending on where it ends up at. Yeah, I might want to go and take that now. Actually, let's see here.
Is that available yet?
I was gonna say probably not. They probably want to wait and see how.
Release free agency goes.
Right, futures. You can do the champion, but you can't do win totals aren't out there just yet. It's unfortunate.
Oh well, it's a good thought.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
Good,
come back to
good
it.
podcast.
Yep. Alrighty. Before we move on to the dumbest dummy, Diz, do you want to talk some tennis, some Wimbledon, or do you want to put a little flag in there and we'll come back to it on Wednesday?
Um, I can. You guys go first on your dummies, and I'll come up with a parlay. The really only tennis talk is
Wimbledon started.
I know that, but I'm saying like as far as who's going to win the whole tournament, I really don't know. Um, I think Djokovic is odds-on favorite.
Correct.
And you don't get really good value betting anyone else. You could argue Nadal, but he kind of got away with one in the Australian Open because Djokovic didn't play, and he obviously dominates on clay. So I think you stay away from the future and you just look at early round favorites. So you guys go ahead and I'll squeeze together a little first round parlay real quick for one of my dumbest dummies.
Okay, real quick, I just want to touch on the future. So there's really three in the men's side that is up and above the rest. So you have Djokovic is the favorite at minus 140. You have Matteo Berrettini at plus 550. And then you have Nadal at plus 700. So those three are kind of your top of the tower. And then the next closest one is Carlos Alcaraz, who I've never heard of before, at plus 1500. So there's your Wimbledon talk, your tennis talk. But let's jump into the dumbest dummy competition. Let's review our bets from Friday. I went 1-1. Tyler, how did you do on Friday?
0-1, but I think we said that Super Boost looked pretty terrible going in, right?
We did. We were kind of aware it wasn't one that we were thrilled about, but hey, during this experiment, we take it. And then Dizz was technically 0-1. He wasn't on Friday's episode, but he did have a future on the Lightning to win the Stanley Cup, and of course that ended yesterday. So he did go down a unit in the Dumbest Dummy Competition.
Am I still positive?
You are. So I am up 0.5 units. I literally did not move after Friday's episode. Dizz is up 1.85 units, and Tyler is up 4.2 units.
Hell yeah.
Tyler, why don't you start us off with any kind of boost action we got going on tonight?
I believe we have one today.
Yep.
Unless more have been added. Come on, app. It is Byron Buxton,
yep,
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Rafael Devers to each record 1+ hit, and that is plus 230, boosted from plus 170.
Yeah, I mean, I like this one. I don't like that we only got like 60 points on the boost. That's kind of a low for a boost. But, I mean, 1+ hit, that's nothing. I mean, each person should get at least 4 at-bats. None of these guys are really facing, like, aces, if you will, like really good people or people that they haven't seen recently. Really, the only one that worries me is Vlad Guerrero Jr., and that's just because he's facing a pitcher that hasn't pitched in the MLB yet. So you would think that he should be able to handle that. But I do like the value at plus 230.
Well, he's normally swing for the fences guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, those guys are always a little iffy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I like it. Diz, would you like me to go next? Are you still constructing yours, or are you good to go? Okay, I will treat his silence as I am going to go ahead and go. So the one bet that I have for tonight is in baseball, of course, because we are in the Patty Parlays days of summer. I'm going Orioles first 5 plus a half versus the Seattle Mariners. This is obviously my favorite play of the night, and I'm going to run you through how I got to what I got. So Wells is starting for the Orioles. He has a 2.02 expected ERA in the first 5 innings. And then Kirby is starting for the Mariners, and he has a 2.13 expected ERA in the first 5 innings. So advantage Orioles there. And then both pitchers are righties, and the Orioles average 0.18 runs per plate appearance against righties, and the Mariners average 0.10 runs per plate appearance for the Mariners. So everything points to the advantage to being to the Orioles, but yet they are somehow underdogs in the first 5. So I will take the first 5 plus a half with the Orioles, and we'll get the Patty Parlays Days of Summers off and running.
Good luck with this.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate your confidence there, Tyler. Dizz, are you with us?
Still no.
Guess not. If he miraculously comes back and we hear from him or something. Okay, he's gone. All right. I guess, Tyler, that leads us to group best bets.
Yes, sir.
So we went 2-0-1 on Friday. So as a group, we're actually up 9.47 units, Tyler.
Ooh, it's a good month. We need the double digits.
We are on the cusp of the first ever double-digit month for the Sports Betting by Dummies podcast as far as group best bets go. So let's try to keep it going. I guess really the only thing we can bet on is the MLB, right? Because Wimbledon's all huge favorites.
Not huge, but everyone I've heard of, yeah.
All right, well, I think we have to go with the Orioles first 5 plus a half.
All right.
Let me see. Ooh, we're getting even better odds than earlier. Love that. And then I'm actually, Tyler, I'm going to suggest taking the Miami Marlins first 5 plus a half versus the Cardinals. And I can tell you why. So, Wainwright's pitching for the Cardinals, and he's at home, right? So usually that's a pretty good sign to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, Waino's pretty good.
But half of the Cardinals' glorious duo is out tonight. Yadier Molina is not playing tonight.
Ooh.
The
man with the most putouts in MLB history.
Correct, and the person that when you hear of Wainwright, you automatically think Molina, right? They got the most wins together as a pitcher catcher duo, but I know that people think, oh, Wainwright's the guy, Wainwright's the pitcher, whatever. I think without Molina, Wainwright is a little bit different.
Not as comfortable tonight.
Yeah. The Marlins are playing good ball right now. The Marlins are actually the better hitting team against right-handed pitchers. So I like the Marlins first 5 plus a half.
All right.
Then we need one more group best bet. Let's see.
Oh, did I miss my dumbest dummy? That's my bad.
We will come back to you, Diz, but yes, glad to have you back.
Sorry, I had a phone call I could not miss.
Of course. Shocking.
Yeah.
And then this is the one I don't feel the best about, but I do like it. How about the Yankees Athletics first 5 under 4.5 runs? Let me we know that so that's what I'm getting to. We know the Athletics cannot hit. That's a certain. The Athletics are one of the worst teams in baseball, including one of the worst hitting teams in baseball.
Are they really bad against left-handed pitchers too?
They are.
So they're going up against a lefty as well, so
correct.
Even worse.
The two pitchers going tonight, Blackburn for Oakland, Montgomery for the Yankees. They both have an ERA this season of 2.97. Those are both fantastic ERAs. This is a little bit outdated. I don't know if this is still the case, but at one point this season, I believe 6 or 7 starts in, Montgomery actually had the least run support of any pitcher in the MLB. For whatever reason, whenever Montgomery's pitching, the Yankees cannot hit. They do not support him very well. So that's part of it. But also, if we look at Paul Blackburn, who is starting for the Athletics, his away ERA this season is 1. That's it. He has started 8 games on the road this season, and he has a 1 ERA. That's per 9 innings. He averages giving up 9 runs. Or no, sorry, in 9 innings pitched, he averages giving up 1 run per 9 innings pitched on the road this season.
I'm also looking up the Oakland's lineup in their career against Jay Montgomery pitching, and only 4 of them have played against him, and all their combined at bats, they have 1 hit against him.
Exactly. Like, I think this is the perfect storm for the under 4.5. Usually with this kind of a matchup, you expect to get like an under 3.5, but we're able to get under 4.5. So I think we go with it.
And I'm looking
down.
at Oakland against Blackburn, or
Yankees against Blackburn.
Yeah, Yankees against Blackburn. They do have hits, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different batters combined against him, and they have 1 RBI.
Exactly. I think this is a perfect storm for an under. I know people will get scared away from taking this under because the Yankees could easily score 5 in 1 inning. But I think this is the perfect storm for an under here.
I'll ride with you. You know your baseball.
I support that.
Alrighty, so to recap, we have the Orioles first 5 plus a half versus the Mariners. We have the Marlins first 5 plus a half versus the Cardinals, and then the Athletics Yankees first 5 under 4.5 runs.
Sign the contract.
All right, Diz, now that you're back, would you like to grace us with your dumbest dummy pick?
Yeah, I would love to. I have 4.
Oh, coming out of left field.
3 baseballs and a Wimbledon first round parlay.
Are these baseballs from Rankle?
2 of them are from Rankle. 1 of them is from Doug.
Oh, we're running it back with Doug, baby. We got to hit one of them.
So this is hysterical, and I'm not fucking with you guys here. I tracked it. And I are 0-6 when I bet. Tells me to bet with him. Okay, I've taken 6 Doug bets. We're 0-6. I shit you not. I said I'm not going to take any of your bets. I want to see how you do this weekend on your own. Like, it wasn't like that sounded bad. I'm not like putting him on probation or something. But
right. We're with it.
I was just like, I wonder if there's like bad juju or something. I shit you not. He's won 9 straight bets. He's won 9 straight bets, and he told me last night to take. Shit, who was it? Brewers, Dodgers under or something. It was like under 8. It was 2-0 in the 9th, and there were 8 total runs scored. It was under 8.5. So he hit, but I just had to have a feeling if I would have taken that with him, they would have got to 9.
Yeah.
But we're testing it out again. He told me Rangers money line against the Royals, so I'm running that. I don't know. If I lose this one, I may never bet with Doug again. Not for my purposes, for his purposes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm his bad luck. But we're riding the Rangers. Then from Rankle's model, we got the Twins money line against the Guardians, and then the Cardinals money line against the Marlins. And then I have a tennis first round parlay, David Goffin minus 190, and Jensen Brooksby minus 275. I think it's a sick name. And I think he's American. So Jensen Brooksby money line against Mikhail Kukushkin, almost an even cooler name. But those 2 together are plus 108.
Nice. I love it. And actually, me and Rank were going back and forth on his model picks. We actually agreed with each other on the Twins, and then we actually differed from each other on the Marlins Cardinals. So that'll be an interesting one to see.
We ride, baby. Let's ride.
Yes, sir.
Broncos, let's ride.
Copyrighted.
Great. Now we're going to get kicked off YouTube.
More strikes.
Perfect.
Unbelievable. All right, gentlemen, that leaves just the Hail Mary parlay of the day. It's Monday. That means the baseball slate's not great, so I only have 8 baseball picks for you today, gentlemen. But do we have a guess as to what $1 will win you on that 8-leg parlay?
209.
Tyler, I assume you looked at the episode notes?
Yeah, I was gonna just say no and then guess it exactly, just to spite you. But
I saw right through your charade.
yeah, you did.
It is $1 to win, $102.01. So we start. Well, we're only in the MLB. We're not only just starting in MLB. We are in the MLB. We got Yankees Athletics first five under 4.5. Blue Jays first five -0.5 versus the Red Sox. Twins first five money line versus the Guardians. Marlins first five +0.5 versus the Cardinals. Rangers first five -0.5 versus the Royals. Dodgers first five -0.5 versus the Rockies. Angels first five money line versus the White Sox. And Orioles first five +0.5 versus the Mariners. All right, gentlemen, anything we need to get off our chest before we call it a Monday?
I would like to ask you, what's up with the NSRI? Haven't been hearing much about those.
So the problem with the NRSI is it got a lot to track.
Well,
Right.
and the sports bookies corrected it, right? There was a time where the value wasn't good enough, and I think the sports bookies caught on. So now it's not as profitable as it used to be, right?
So if I look right now, so for instance, that one we were just looking at, Athletics Yankees, the one where I love the under, an NRSI would be prime for that.
Yes.
To take the NRSI, it would be -142.
Oh, that's not too
yeah,
bad.
But
We
it's
want
not
plus value.
great either.
I remember like first, second week of the season, you were getting like -100 on everything.
Or even plus value on some of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not.
It's dead, Jim.
I'm checking a few others. That one was -122. Also, they changed the phrasing of it. This one's -115. That's not bad. So,
What do you mean they changed the phrasing of it?
It used to be like number of runs scored in the second inning. And so you'd have 0 runs, you'd have 1 run, and then you'd have 2+ runs. Now they have over under half a run, over under 1.5 runs. It's like, so they kind of changed it up to where it's multiple selections instead of just going to one little selection and being able to choose 0 runs.
Got you.
So
you're telling me they listen to our podcast?
I mean, it has to be. Has to be. Maybe I F around and I take every single NRSI tonight. Just
Do
because.
it, Pat.
I mean, it's the Patty Parlays Days of Summer.
Can you parlay those together?
You can. Absolutely you can.
Yeah, go ahead and parlay all those. Let's see how it goes.
All right, you guys talk about something while I go through and.
Yo, can we make some merch that the Patty Parlays Days of Summer, and it's like the Hot Girl Summer logo with Patty's face photoshopped on it?
Sounds
I was
electric.
thinking maybe the Top Gun volleyball scene with our faces.
Oh, nice.
I like what I'm hearing so far, boys. I mean,
Dogfight football.
We'll put TY in the background flying a jet.
TY will be like Tom Cruise, just sitting down and watching them.
Yeah, see now that I'm getting later into some of these values are not great. Like
even
worse than -150 on some of these.
Yikes!
But it's all right. We're trucking on.
We're doing it for the fans.
That's right.
No, the Dizz stands and whatever. What are the Patty fans?
They don't exist, so.
That's fair. That's fair. Everyone
All right.
hates Pat.
So 9 legs for this NRSI parlay, and $1 wins you $173.83.
That's not terrible.
So we're going for it. Let's have a lightning strike a couple times with the Hail Mary parlay of the day, and then the Patty Parlays Days of Summer NRSI parlay.
Be nice. Let's get Pat rich.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm all for that.
Do it.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else we need to get off our chest?
No, that was it for me. I just wanted to know where the no-run second inning had gone.
Where have all the Cowboys gone?
Same.
Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram at SportsBet by Dumb. Also, go to our YouTube. Type in the search bar, Sports Betting by Dummies. Look for the black and yellow logo. You cannot miss it. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. We like hearing from you guys. But yeah, we hope you have a nice, profitable start to your week, and we will see you all on Wednesday.